Good morning. My name is Saturday. The title of the spoken word that I'll be performing for today is called The Wall by John Georges. The wall of Jericho was an impenetrable force to any army that was trying to take over the city. Before building the wall, the attacking troops would have to navigate their way across a 27-foot wide, 9-foot deep pitch that lined the outer edge of the city. Then there was the wall itself, a 17-foot high, 5-foot thick, pure mass of solid stone. If the attacking army managed to get this far without being shot down by archers, all that was left was to defeat the well-trained Canaanite army that was waiting within. This was the reality for a young leader named Joshua and his ragtag Israelite army. This Israelite, who had seen the entire generation live and die while wandering through the desert, were tired, hungry, and facing what seemed like an impossible task, a hopeless situation. Now, I haven't lived very long, but I have lived long enough to know this, that running into wall is a part of life. And the bigger the wall, the more hopeless the situation can seem. The large wall of sickness, loss, divorce, addiction, they pop up all around us and they seem impenetrable. Just like the wall at Jericho, these walls rarely stand alone. The walls of our lives are often accompanied by a deep pinch of pain, suffering, and despair, and all one army of hopelessness attacks us on every side. Now, the question is asked all the time, if God loves us so much and so powerful, then how can he allow these walls pop up all around me? Now, I don't pretend to have the answer to this question, nor do I pretend just to understand just how deep or dark your suffering has been. I simply want to suggest that maybe God does his best work from seemingly hopeless situations. When I read the Bible, I read about people and characters, all who face seemingly hopeless situations. In fact, I cannot find a single person who walked faithfully with God without first facing a hopeless situation. Adam and Eve ruined paradise by writing sin and death into a perfect world. A hopeless case. Joseph was betrayed by his brother for his pride and put in prison. A hopeless case. Moses was cornered on the banks of the Red Sea with the most powerful army in the world, breathing down his neck. A hopeless case. Gideon was 300 against 300,000. David stood across the valley from a bloodthirsty giant. Esther was a woman trying to get a word with the pregnant king. Daniel's roommate was a lion. His friends were thrown into an oven. Jonah thought his jump got stuck in a well. Peter was a coward. Paul was in prison. The 5,000 had no food. Lazarus was bad. Timothy was too young. Abraham was too old. The youngest son was too stupid. And the war at Jericho was too strong. And Jesus was humiliated, hung on the cross, and buried in a tomb, burning all hope of the resurrection that was hoped for thousands of years. Now everybody was ready to close the book on this story. The end is over. But if there's one more thing we learn in the scriptures, it's that we can never place a period where God has placed a comma. Because when all other options have been worn out, when circumstances couldn't get worse, when everything else had failed, get ready, because that is exactly where God shows up. Because Joseph becomes second in command. The Red Sea parted. Gideon won without lifting a weapon. Goliath's head was on display. Esther spoke and the king listened. Daniel tamed the lion. The oven felt like room temperature. Nineveh repented. Peter became the rock. Paul rejoiced. 12 baskets full were left over. Lazarus was just kidding. Timothy goes to church. Abraham goes to family. The youngest son came home to a party. And the war at Jericho Jericho came a tumbling down, and Jesus pulled off the resurrection, defeating sin and death, and the creation that in Marna so many years ago was now restored for all time. With God, what seemed like a hopeless situation, it's not only possible, it's favorable. Because only God can turn a mess into a message. Only God can turn a trial into a triumph, a test into a testimony, and a victory into a victory. His power is made perfect in weakness. So let's rejoin our triumph with a whole bigger fest, because He who promised